tell that face, and I think I've just been told off. So I will come back to those ideas.
It's fine. I can.
So it's triggered. What was interesting about the second throw there is it's separated out across the board. So what if we had more time, the connections between the different areas, for instance. So here, who we're going to next, I've just thrown. Who's happy to play along based on what Shirley's done quite bravely? Scott, Caroline, Suzanne, Kath, who wants to play?
I'll have a go. I'll do it.
Okay, so what we've got, we've got an opportunity next to purpose. Oh, I'm not going to throw that one next. Sorry, I've only thrown the two. I've got a measure in technology in operations. So maybe Suzanne, which business is it you're thinking about? Is it your own?
I'm going to think about my own business.
So how about a measure and a technology within the operation space?
One of the things I've been thinking about is not just moving stuff online, because I've moved a lot of training delivery that I do online anyway, but actually coming up with something new. So something I haven't done before, like a sort of a series of stuff, of interventions, and like a challenge or something that people can sign up to for sort of 6 weeks, and every week they get something to do. So that's been something that's been kind of mulling around in my head for a while in terms of how to do it. And I think what I need to do is understand the technology that's out there to help me with that, because I don't know what it is, but also in terms of measure, to see how that would generate data for me in terms of engagement and, you know, feeding into my customer database and all that sort of thing, to see how I could link it together. I think it's something I've been thinking about for a while, but you know, slow progress really.
Nice.
But
it's interesting to think about that. You've interpreted the dice differently to me. I interpreted them as being a back office operation type of development, where what you did was a bit of an insight in, you interpreted them as a customer offer kind of thing. So I'm throwing their challenge. How might that present a challenge in sales, Suzanne? That's where the challenge symbol has dropped.
I suppose going back to what you were saying about back office, I don't really have a back office because my business is me. So, you know, I am the back office as well as the front office. So I don't really have that distinction. Maybe that's why I didn't think of that, although that is quite interesting. I think the challenge actually related to that is just trying to do everything. And, you know, whether actually I need to get some help with this, or whether this is something that I can do on my own. And I think, I know the opportunity didn't come up, but actually the opportunity there is to see whether I can do some relationship building with people who can assist.
Yeah, brilliant. And of course, in big picture land, with more time, challenge always allows you a path through to opportunity. And it's just reminded me of that funny story, and it's only connected to what you've just said, Suzanne, which is the entrepreneurial myth of the business system. I would say that you do have a back office, you just have different hats. So you have a customer facing hat, and then you'll have some infrastructure in the background, whether it's you know, a CRM or, you know, whatever it is in the background. So but the funny story is I recommended Suzanne a book, which she then read and complimented me on my recommendation before we realized she'd read a different book called
it's a good book.
It's the only time it's ever happened, and I didn't know what the etiquette was to correct us. I just went for honesty is the best policy. Really pleased you're enjoying the book, Suzanne, but it's not the book I recommended.
So, it had the same title. That's my excuse.
I'm afraid I need to know what the two books are.
Yeah, E-Myth and Entrepreneurial Myth. So E-Myth. And the reason I reminded myself of that, of the E-Myth, the original Michael Gerber book, was about how you see the business system. So I'm very calculated about, am I coming into the office to do some management and admin, or am I doing some front of house delivery? So I'm almost, because my brain is trained in this way, I almost know where I am on the big picture almost every minute of every day. And I think sometimes knowing that is a little bit of self-management. So it wasn't, I hope, a tenuous link. It was just a chance for me to tell that what I like is that a story.
Yeah.
So
take care, everyone.
Take care.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.